And in today's video, we are going to talk about how to cook the perfect Mexican rice. There's gonna be a twist to it. We are going to cook it in a rice cooker. I know many of y'all's like grandparents or aunts or friends or anyone that you know that knows how to make Mexican rice or Spanish rice, as you may call it. They all make it in the stovetop, but I tried to do that, guys, and honestly, I was not able to perfect it. It was just very inconsistent. And the reason for it is that with stoves, like it depends, like if you have a gas or electric, or it can differ with like the temperature ranges. Like it's really inconsistent, honestly. And it also depends on the pan. So it's just too many factors to weigh in. And I was like, let me do something different. Let me try to make the Mexican rice in a rice cooker, guys. And honestly, guys, it has done wonders for me. It has been so much easier and the rice tastes amazing. Honestly, guys, I had got so discouraged with making my rice in a stovetop that I actually went to microwavable like rice packets. And I was like, what am I doing? No, I am going to perfect this Mexican rice. I am going to cook it one way or another. And now I finally have mastered my way to make Mexican rice. And it's super, super easy, guys. And it tastes delicious. And me and my fiance love it. And honestly, you could just throw some rice, some grilled chicken, and some lettuce, and you have a whole meal. And it's so much cheaper to like cook at home as well. So there's just so many pros. It's cheaper and it's healthier. So yeah, so I'm actually going to show you all the ingredients I use to make this Mexican rice along with all the measurements. That way you can create it at home as well. And please let me know below in the comment section if you tried this recipe at home and if you liked it, or yeah. So let's get right to it. Get started in cooking our perfect and delicious Mexican rice. Let me show you the ingredients that I will be using. I will be using 2 cups of rice, and the rice that I use is this one right here. It's called Prime Grade Thai Jasmine Rice. And guys, what's the good thing about this rice is that it's gluten-free, cholesterol-free, and non-GMO. So it's pretty good. It is a little bit more pricey because it is prime grade rice. And the next thing I use, which is like super important for the taste of this Mexican rice, is tomato bouillon, or consomate, as many of my Latino or Latina friends call it, consomate, but in English is tomato bouillon. This is basically a mixture of ingredients that adds so much flavor to the Mexican rice. And what you want to use is 2 tablespoons of it. So I have it right here. And this, guys, adds so much flavor to the rice and also gives the rice that pinkish orangey color that makes it look really appealing. And another thing that we use is a Roma tomato. I already cut like the stem portion of it. That's why it looks a little choppy. But yeah, you want to use a ripe Roma tomato. The more ripe it is, the more flavor and color it will add to your rice. Just keep in mind, guys, that a Roma tomato is about 95% water. So you have to calculate that water intake. So that goes to our next point. How much water are we going to use? We are going to use 1.5 cups of water, and you can go ahead and put it in your blender. The reason we are using 1.5 cups is because the Roma tomato has water in it. So if you add only 1 cup, or if you add 2 cups of water, it's either going to make it too mushy or too dry. And then our next ingredient will be 3 garlic cloves. You want to use fresh garlic, guys. Make sure your garlic is fresh. Make sure it's not that prepackaged garlic, because that does not work. It does not add the same flavor. So make sure your garlic is fresh. And then another ingredient that you want to add is some white onion. And then last but not least, you do want to add a little bit of salt. So you just want to add about 1 teaspoon of salt. And I just use like the regular salt from like Target, nothing fancy. The reason you don't want to add too much salt is because the tomato bouillon already does include a little bit of salt. So if you add too much salt, it will be like too salty. But yeah, so with that being said, let's get right to the cooking process. So now that you have all your ingredients, you want to make sure you put them all in the blender. So guys, now that I have done an overview of our ingredients, we are going to put all these delicious ingredients into the blender. So in the blender, we have 1.5 cups of water already. I am trying to find the best way. Then we are going to add our salt, our consomate, which is 2 tablespoons, our Roma tomato, our onion, and our garlic cloves. And then we are going to close it off and we are going to blend it. I'm not going to show this part just because it's really noisy and it's just literally blending all these ingredients. Okay, so guys, I have now blended all my ingredients. As you can see, it created this like orangey reddish sauce that we are going to use to cook our rice with. But before we add that to our rice, we have to actually cook our rice. So we are going to cook our rice in a pan and we are going to set it at like medium to high heat. And we are going to put 2 tablespoons of canola oil. So guys, you guys can see that my rice is starting to have like little brown pieces. So that means the rice is cooking. So that means we can go ahead and take the rice out of the stove and put it into the rice cooker. Because if you leave it too long in here, it will burn and it will taste burnt. So now we are going to transfer the rice to the rice cooker. So guys, now I transferred the rice to my rice cooker. You want to make sure that it's evenly spread out. You don't want it to be all in one side. You want it to evenly be spread out. And what I mean is like you don't want it to be like this, all crumpled up. No, you want it to be evenly spread out. You don't want to have any like dark spots or whatever. You want it to be evenly spread out. That's what you want. Evenly spread out. And now guys, we can add our water. So let me go get that. So now we are going to add our water. With that includes our little water paste that includes all the ingredients that we mix together. Okay. And you are just going to add it. And it includes all of the ingredients. Make sure everything is sitting down below nice and covered. You are then going to put the lid on your rice and you are just going to press down to cook. And it'll cook by itself. And once you hear a noise, it means it goes to the warm setting. Once you hear the noise and that it goes to the warm setting, it'll take about 15 minutes for it to be done cooking. So it has to be 15 minutes in the warm setting for it to be fully cooked. So in total, it takes about 35 minutes to cook. So it takes about 20 minutes for the rice to cook. And then you have to leave it in the warm setting for another 15 minutes. So that's a total of 35 minutes of cooking. It's super important, guys, that you let your rice cook and then you let it sit afterwards so it can fully absorb all the flavors. And I will show you guys the finished product in just a bit. So guys, our rice is done cooking. Look how nice it looks. Look at the color. It's pretty fluffy. You want to use a rice cooking spatula to kind of just slowly kind of fluff it out. It already has been sitting for 15 minutes. So now it is ready to be served, but look how delicious and yummy it looks, guys. So guys, now we have our delicious Spanish rice ready to be cooked and served. You can pair it with like enchiladas or with just grilled chicken, whatever you like, guys. The rice tastes amazing. It has a nice color to it. It tastes really good, and it's ready to be served and enjoyed. Let me know, guys, below in the comment section if you guys attempted this recipe and how did it go and did you enjoy it. And as always, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. It means the world to me and it shows your support. Have a good one, guys. Bye-bye.